Hello all, welcome back. So in our previous video, we already seen how we can create and delete virtual machine in a Google Cloud using Python. So in this video, we are just moving ahead and we'll see how we can create a multiple VMs or how we can delete multiple VMs using Python in a Google Cloud. So suppose you have to create 5 VMs or you have to create a 10 VM. So we'll see how we can create multiple VMs using a single script in Python. So I'll go to our code where we already created a single VM. So here last time we created one VM with the name my instance internal. So this is our code where we used a credential as our service account keys, and I placed key here and I have given the service account key path here, and rest of the code I already explained. So here we are giving the config, that is a source image which is a boot disk, and the instance name and machine type we already defined in variable, and the network details we already mentioned in the network interface block. Okay, so this is our code. Now this is creating only a single virtual machine. Now suppose I want to create a 5 virtual machine using the single code. So what I will do, I will just use the same code and I will just iterate this code in loop. So I'll keep this part. Okay, so I will just use it as my common part, and from this line I will use a loop. So what I will do, for I in a range of 6, so it means I need to create 6 VM, so I will use this one. So you can mention the name of the virtual machines also, but there are different ways we can do it. I'm just showing one single way. So let me make it clear here. So I am adding it in the for loop, and only thing I have to change is instance name. So here instance name cannot be same for multiple instance. So what I will do, I will add or this append number just to make instance name unique. So I'll add I, but it will give me an error because this is an integer. So I have to add it as a string. So this will concatenate along with your instance name. Now let me run this code. So it should create 6 VM starting with instance name 0, instance name 1, like that way. So instance name we have given as a my instance internal. So let me save this code and let's run it. Let me open a terminal. So let me go to my folder and let me run create vm.py. Okay, so it started. Let's go over compute engine page and we'll see if VMs are getting created. So it should create 6 VM with the number from 0 to 5. So first it's created my instance internal 0. The second it will create my instance internal 1. Yeah. The third it will create my instance internal 2. Okay. So like this it will create a 6 VM. So it created 4. So you can create a multiple VMs using the single script, and if you want to mention the instance name separately, so here currently you can ignore this because I didn't change the value in the print statement. So here I have to change the value. Here I mentioned instance name, here also I need to add the string. So if you want to specific your instance name, then you can just add one variable here and you can mention the instance name like instance 1, instance 2, like that, and then you can use a for loop. So there are different way we can do. So that is the one way where we can create a multiple VMs using the single script. So you can use this naming format or you can have specific naming format, you can use that. Now let's see if it created 6 VM. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it created a 6 VM. Again we have one more option. If you want to use a different parameters like zones and all, you can use a multiple variables. So instead of passing this here, you can either take that value from the different file or a variable file and you can use in this loop. So that's the simple code I want to show you. I'll share this code in the different link. So we'll see you again in the next videos.